here? I guess I am. Let's just take a look. Am I live? I am live. Excellent. 2080 by 780. That's fine. Uh, why can't? Hmm. Hmm. Apparently, I am live. Let's take a look. Oh, I should be using the other thing. OBS. How do I adjust this? Guess I have to. Okay, I'll turn it off. Alright, let's take a look and see if this is working. Oh, I please hope it is. Let's see. Um, nope, that's not what I wanted to check. Let's see here. Ah! Let's see. I'm live. Excellent. Alright. Let me just post this into Discord. And I'll throw this onto Twitter. Not that it matters, but let's go and do it. I'll worry more about how all this is going to work later. Alright, so here we go. So I've been working on a. This is a little bit later than I thought I would be. I was hoping to start at 8:45, but it took about half an hour more because YouTube is ridiculous. So anyway, let's talk about what I'm gonna do. So I've been learning game development, and right now, my job is. I just want to start to really learn it so that I can try to build a test room for a game I'm building. So the games that I'm thinking of right now are two different games. There's Stardew Valley and there's Factorio. They're both kind of really different games. Stardew Valley is a very like social game. It's a lot of fun to play. But on the other hand, Factorio kind of adds in all the extra bits of Stardew Valley you miss. Because in Stardew Valley, there's only so much of the social aspect you can get. But in Factorio, there's all this amazing automation. Just as a thought, it'd be pretty freaking cool if in Stardew Valley you could hire someone to do work on your farm, and that's kind of the idea I'm working with here. So I'm kind of new to Game Maker Studio, so what I'm going to do right now is I've got a job, and my job is to build a test room for the mechanics. Go away. For the mechanics I'm including this game. I am starting from 100% scratch. I will be building assets. I will be building everything from scratch today and working over the next, I don't know, probably a couple years to just build something. I might stop this project and do something else along the way, but we'll see how this goes. Now, all of you who are watching are my rubber duckies. Rubber ducky in programming world, as you may or may not know, is basically something you speak to try to walk through something. So let's get started. So I'll be using two programs. I'm going to be using Game Maker Studio and ASE Sprite, which is a pretty neat program. The only thing I've done so far is Git. So let's take a look at my roadmap. So I don't know why I was looking at Classic, but here we go. So the roadmap is I need to build a test room, and one of the first things I need to do is build player movement. And I need to make sure that we can control a player that walks on the screen. So let's get to it. the first thing I need to do is build a sprite for my player. So I'm going to be building placeholder sprites for now. I've already decided this game is going to be, 32 by 32. So let's get rolling. All right, let's resize this image. Wait, was that 32? No, it was actually 64 by 32. So I'm going to just leave it at 64 pixels. I've decided making the game 32-bit, but the player is going to be 2 tiles high, if that makes sense. So here we go. Alright, I have the grid on. Okay. So right now, I'm building just a placeholder sprite, so it's just going to be a filled rectangle. Now, I'm going to put 2 parts to this rectangle. There's going to be the top half, which this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. And there's going to be the bottom half, and the reason why I'm doing it like this is that the bottom half is actually going to be a different sprite, as you may see later. Okay, excellent. So I'm going to rename this. I'm going to call it S player PH, meaning placeholder. Okay. All right. The player is going to be 32 pixels wide by 64 pixels tall. I'm going to worry more about making the assets later. For now, I just want to get the, some basic mechanics rolling. Actually, I forgot. So one thing I need to do is I wanted to make 4 different sprites. One was going to be right, and this one, if it's right, is going to have, I'm going to put a big red arrow on it indicating the direction that is being pointed in. I should probably use the line tool here. Yeah, so I'm going to be using ASC sprite for the rest of this game. But for just the first couple streams, and while it's not really super important, I'm going to use just these arrows. I don't like that. Even though it's just a placeholder sprite, I still want to take my time with it. Oh, I see why that happened. Very interesting. Okay, that is not right. That's from there, and boom. Alright, excellent. So this is going to indicate that the player is pointing right. Alright, I'm going to make a new one. We'll call this one S player PH left. PH means placeholder. Edit image, and we're going to use that same blue. Yeah, so my goal is to do this for about an hour, an hour to, that's not a square. Wait a second. Okay. My goal is to do this for about an hour, or half an hour to an hour every day. I understand that, the game world is pretty difficult to get into. But that's not my concern. I'm just learning programming here, because programming is an excellent skill to have. Okay, this is left, right? So here we go. Okay. Boom. Yeah, I mean, I actually kind of like the Game Maker Studio sprite editor, but I understand that, you can do so much more in other sprite editors. So here we go. Okay, that's left. Let's do an up one. Create, whoops, S player, PH, up. Excellent. Okay, now, all right, here we go. I could probably just copy paste. Screw it. This doesn't take much time. I'll be done with this in 2 minutes. Excellent. Wait a second. God, I did the same mistake again. That's alright, we'll fix it again. That's unfortunate. Hiya. Okay, this is up now, right? Yes, I am on the up one. So here we go. Actually, that does kind of work, doesn't it? I meant to use this, but that's fine. Here we go. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm building sprites that will indicate the direction of the player. I understand that, there's a lot more that needs to get done. But for now, I'm going to work with this. Get out of here. Okay. And let's do one more. Create sprite, S player, PH down. Okay. We're going to edit this. Throw in. Boom. Okay. I'm not going to make the same mistake again. Okay, excellent. All right, excellent. Okay, red is up. So we're on down now. So we're on the line. Oh, we're not on the line tool. Now we are on the line tool. I just want to get a minimal viable product. Just something that will do show that I've got the concepts. I do want to add assets as I go along. But for now, just to get some of the programming out of the way, I'm going to work with this. Alright. Excellent. Okay. Hang on. Get out of here. Okay. Excellent. So all the sprites for my player movement are done. They are very basic, but that is okay. We're going to close all the windows. And now it's time to make the player object. Although, arguably, I should make a O player. Okay. So arguably I should make the room first. So why don't I do that actually? I'm going to rename this first room our test room. I'll probably make some more rooms as I go along. Going into the room editor, here's a couple things I need to do. So the width of the room, let's go to the viewport first. Alright, so let me think here. The game's going to be a 32-bit game, which means it's probably going to be 720 wide by whatever that is equivalent in the 16:9 aspect ratio high. So the viewport, if I just do a little bit of Googling, let's see. What is 720's resolution? 720p. $1280 by 720. Okay, so that's going to be the size of my game. Let's get working on it. Wait a second. Get out of here. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so 1280. Actually. Yeah, we'll work with that. That's fine. 1280 by 720. And that seems fine by me. Okay. We'll enable the viewports. We're going to have it following the player object because that's kind of how it's going to work. The horizontal border, 32 is just not enough. I want it to be a lot bigger. For now, I'm going to set it actually at like 600 or something stupid like that. The vertical border, I'm going to put it, so 720. Half of that is 370, so I'm going to put that at like 250. Obviously, that may change as I go. Oh, a clear viewport background, and that should do the job, so I may worry about the persistence later. For now, just to kind of keep myself sane, let's just set the room width to the same as this, but I will likely change it later. And just to ensure, screw it, let's keep going. Okay, O player. Alright. So the first thing I need to do is I need to get the player moving. Okay. So the player is going to have to move when I use keyboard input or game controller input. Let's see. So we're going to start with a... Actually, first let me go into the test room. I'm going to drag an O player in here. Excellent. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the O player object, and I'm going to set it to... Ooh, I need an S player idle one, and that's actually probably a very easy one to make. Create player, S player idle. Wait, come on. Idle. PH. Missed the I. Okay, we edit the image real quick. I already see a problem we're going to have to be facing, which is the origin. Because if you think of Stardew Valley, one of the things that's great, one of the things about Stardew Valley is that you can kind of like, if you're right below a rock, basically the reason why I'm coloring this in two different squares is that the light colored square is the part, is supposed to be a collision mask that only applies to being struck by enemies, whereas the blue is supposed to be a collision mask that will be when you are kind of moving. So for instance, you could be like right here, your feet could be right here, but there could be a rock behind your head because of the perspective. So the idea is we have it split up into the two colors so that it's a little bit more clear as to what should be happening. And for this, I'm just going to put a big square in the middle. All right. Boom. Excellent. Okay. All right. Excellent. I will set this to the sprite. Okay. Um, let's. Before I begin, one of the things that I need to do is I need to think about the. Hang on a second. Let me check something here. Okay. All right. Actually, let me keep that up. Off to the side. Train Punch Man. All right, here we go. I just want to make sure I'm watching in case anyone says anything in chat or whatever. Not Train Punch Man. All right, here. Okay. Actually, all right. So it's worth noting that the player is actually a different sprite. So basically, there's going to be a player movement and a player collision sprite. This is, I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm going to change the collision mask of this sprite a little bit. So first off, the origin should be down here. That middle, bottom center. So it's 32 by 63, which means that if we subtract 16 from 63, we get, we get 57 minus 10 is 47. So it should be 32 by 47. Yeah, that looks about the middle. Maybe it's 48, but that's probably fine for now. We can adjust things later if we need to. That's fine. Okay, now the collision mask needs to be a bit different. The collision mask will actually only be the size of this blue box, and I may actually even reduce it by 1 to allow things to get through a little bit easier. We'll see how that goes. Okay. The speed of this animation should be 0 for now. We may change it later, but here we go. Okay, now the player object itself is going to move. So on this, let's set up the controls first. Okay, so I'm just going to set up WASD controls just because. So we will set up right equals keyboard. Oops. Check. And that would be pressed. And that would be D. Oh, wait, ORD, right? So that's something that's really funny about GameMaker right there. Okay. Oops, putting that semicolon. Okay. Left. So let's set the controls equals keyboard check. I can't spell tonight. Jesus. Pressed. ORD. And that would be A. Up equals keyboard check. Pressed. ORD. W. A. Hang on 1 second. I just want to do one thing. Okay, let's keep rolling. We got down equals keyboard. Check pressed, ORD, S. Okay, I think that should be all we need for now. Now, one thing I do like to set up a gamepad because honestly, I do want this game to be playable with the gamepad very much, and in fact, I want to be like playable primarily with the gamepad. But of course, that's not always an option. I'll worry about more about that another night. All right. So our controls are set up. So the problem is, though, our controls are set up so the computer will recognize when we have right, down, left, or up press, but it's not going to do anything. So what we need to do is we need to set up a state machine to get things going. So in order to do that, first I need to go into create, and we need to create an enum. Now I might forget how to do this. It's been a while since I set up an enum. Let's take a look at the instructions on how to do enums. So it'd be var value. Okay, var player. Yeah. You know what? Honestly, like enum player. Oh wait, no, is it player? Oh, I see. Okay, var player equals enum, and here's where I've got to select what I'm going to do. Moving, and we'll just do moving for now. As we get more, we'll go further. I have a feeling that there's an issue with this, so I'm just going to quickly open, just compare this, because enums are not something I usually use. I'm going to compare this to an old project that had a state machine built in. I very rarely use enums, because honestly, it's just like the formatting. I know what they're used for. I just need to go check the syntax. So give me 2 seconds. Enum. Oh, it's just enum. God, bleh. Enum. There we go. Equals. All right, and that's it. That's it. That's pretty sad that I couldn't even remember something so simple. But honestly, enums don't matter. Now, I want to have this as moving, but create, or actually, I'm sorry, state. So the state is going to be something very important. So var state equals moving. Excellent. All right, I'm going to actually go get some water. I am parched. So as soon as I'm back, I will continue.
Yo.
Hey, how's it going,
Hey, I'll
man?
be ready. I'll be ready in 5 minutes.
I'm not gonna be ready for a bit. I think I'm actually in the middle of my first game dev stream. However, I
You cut
spoke.
out, but that's fine. I'll be back in a minute.
Sounds good. All right. Excellent. Okay, let's get back to it. Apologies. But I'm really not concerned because, frankly, anyone watching, I hope you get anything out of this. Here we go. Okay. So the player state is moving. So let's actually get right into making the variable definitions for this player. Actually, I really don't know if I need to worry about that. Maybe. Okay. I'm curious. I'll be referencing that later in the step event. Okay. So I need to make sure that I set a maximum X speed and Y speed for this dude. So we're going to do that. X speed, and that's going to be 2. It's going to be a real. Y speed, and that, oops. I actually added a white space at the end of that. 2, that will also be a real. Okay. Um, let's keep rolling. So now during the step event, we're going to have a switch statement. Switch based on state. Yep, state. And that should actually get rid of that error message from before. Let's go take a look just to see. Yep, it's gone. Okay, excellent. Okay, so the state, we only have one state at the moment. So here we go. It's move. Oops. Case move. I'm sorry. Case player dot moving. Excellent. I'm going to throw in the break right now. Just to keep my code nice and clean, I am going to begin with the regions. So we're going to have a region based on moving, and we will end it right here. Okay. So when basically what needs to happen is we need to check to see. Oh, I need to put a colon here. We need to check to see what button is being pressed, and then based on what button is being pressed, the will move accordingly. Okay. So where do I begin? Let's start with understanding what our x speed and y speed are. Right now, actually the default for them should be 0, but really what I actually need to do, I just realized, is I need to actually have a maximum x speed and a maximum y speed. So let me actually check that. Speed, x speed equals 2, and max y speed equals 2. Now, in case you're curious as if to, this is actually more interesting for me to think about. So I'm going to be using absolute values probably when I check to see if we're exceeding the max x speed or y speed. So that's why I'm just going to leave it at 2. I'm not going to have a max and negative x speed because that's just too much. Okay, so we need to have a new script, and it's going to be a move script. So let's create a script. It's going to be called move. Excellent. Now, the thing is when we move, we don't want to collide into what we will create as borders in the game. So we need to have some kind of object, which I'm going to create actually right now. I'm going to call it solid. Oh, actually, I'm going to call it border. Border. Okay. I'm going to make a sprite for it quick. Let's see, I do not need to be 64 by 64. I actually only want to be 32 by 32 because that's the size of the dude that we're making. But half the size. It's the base size of the tile in the game I want to make. We'll edit the image and I'll just fill it up with a nice hot pink that I'm going to make with a slight alpha. So that way we can see through it. Okay. Alright, let me go into the room. I'm going to actually drop. So I dropped my player in here. And I'm going to go and drop some of this border. If I'm not mistaken, I think you use Alt to brush. Yeah. Ooh. Who cares? Doesn't really matter, does it? Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Although, I would like to do that. Okay. Oh, God. You know what? This is gross. Let me try that again. See, attention to detail is my weakest point. So, why am I making a video game? I honestly couldn't tell you. Alright, here we go. Oops. We'll delete all the extra ones in a minute. So, there's actually a lot of objects here being built. And you know what? Actually, hang on. Let me try this one more time. I have a better idea. Whoop. That's a lot better. Okay. We'll put this one here. We'll extend this one down. Okay. And we'll put this one here. I'm going to make sure that I close that up, so don't worry about it. Okay. And then we'll put our last one here, although, frankly, it should probably go down as well. Yeah, I know. OCD is going. Whoa, you can rotate? That's cool. I had no idea. Let's pop that over one. It doesn't really matter. Here we go. Alright, so if I run this game right now, if I'm not mistaken, what should happen is I should see the player and nothing should be able to happen. Whoops. Yeah, okay. Let's go take a look at that. That's funny. The first run of this didn't work. Case player moving. Yeah, there should be actually nothing that happens. So oh, doip. There we go. Okay, that should solve the problem. Well, that's a problem. Can't see anything. Wonder why that is. Let's take a look. It probably has something to do with. Hmm. Let's see. What in the world could be causing this? Could be causing the camera. It's probably the camera, honestly. Oh, the viewport and the camera are not the same. They should be the same.
Yo, are you talking to yourself?
No, I'm streaming, man.
Oh, I didn't know you were streaming.
Yeah, I'm streaming game dev. I'm doing it for another. Oh, well, it has been half an hour, but I want to do a little bit more.
Hmm.
I have a link in the general chat if you are curious and seeing. I'm actually doing it via YouTube, of all places. However, I seem to be having a big ass issue already. I'm
What's
kind
that?
of restarting. So I'm restarting the whole thing, my whole project that I was working on before.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, nothing is showing. Do I have these people in the right room? Yes. Did I screw
Apparently,
something?
apparently, two people are watching right now.
Are you serious? Two people? That's
One of them's
crazy.
me.
Oh, one of them's probably me too. Yeah, I don't know why this isn't quite functioning. Let me make sure it's not actually unfunctioning. Nope, it's not working. All right, well, either way though. Let's see. So I have to actually like this is actually the weirdest part is when you're setting up the game. It's like kind of a pain in the ass. I'm gonna probably be done in 15 minutes, then we can play a game if you want. Oh,
Sure.
because the viewport isn't visible. Aha! Little boxes you gotta tick. Hooray! Alright, there we go. Excellent. Okay. So the next thing I need to do is set the move script. I want to do this for about half an hour every night from about 8:45 to 9:15, but tonight I had to start about half hour late because YouTube was like, hey, we're not gonna let you stream for another 15 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you have to wait 24 hours, but I guess I set it up at like 9 or like 8, like 9 o'clock last night, and
Um,
that's why.
that's interesting.
Okay.
Because when you said that, I was like, wait, did he just go into like the dungeons, the weird part of YouTube, and you were watching just crazy videos?
No, no, no. Okay. So right now I'm setting up a move script so I can move my dude. Um. Okay.
Oh
So
yeah, I just like minimized it.
param. What am I setting up here?
Does it record as
Yeah.
well?
Yeah, it does. At param. I'm right. So I'm setting up a collision object.
Just
Collision
make sure you turn off
object.
your stream when we're playing Heroes.
Oh yeah, in case I curse like a fucking sailor.
You
Whoops.
just did it again. Yeah. Oops. Oh no.
Whatever. I'm demonetized. I should probably have music playing or something, but like I set this up so quickly that I didn't really care. I just want to get something done, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. All
Before
right.
before you start work again.
Well, honestly, this is the point of this is so I can like have something to do when I'm working, something that helps.
Can you do that while you're at work?
I'm not gonna do this while I'm at work.
Oh.
No, but I will work like I'll work on assets during my lunch break or something. Okay, so I need to check to see if there's collision object, which is the border object that I set up. So the var collision object equals argument 0. That is a minus sign, non-equal sign. Okay. So here I need to check if I'm going to be running into a border. Place meeting X. So this is going to be check to see if I'm going right. X speed, X
Did
plus.
you ever have the Atari when you were growing up?
I actually never did, no. My first thing was a NES.
Yeah, I didn't have that either, but I played Atari at Boys and Girls Club when I was growing up.
Hmm.
And did you ever? So you never played Atari at all? Period.
I mean, I may have played games for it.
My favorite game on there was boxing,
Boxing, like
and
one.
like I mean that's literally the title, boxing. That's all it is. And the basketball game was good too. Basketball was awesome.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I don't know why I liked it so much. I just
so
did.
if place meeting X plus X speed. Actually, hang on, I can do two things at once. So let me make this better.
That's good. You want to be able to multitask in life.
Yeah, well, actually, it's a core part of image xscale. It's a core part of programming, which is called dry, which
Okay.
which means don't repeat yourself.
Oh, okay.
So right there, do you see how I added in? I don't know if you see that. I added in.
Oh, I alt tab. Let me see.
Oh, don't worry about it. I added an image X scale.
Okay.
So the reason why I did that is because the X scale of an image is determined on the rotation. So if the image is facing left, then it will actually go negative. If it's facing right, it'll go forward. So like it can kind of tell if it's
Gotcha.
going
Yep.
both ways. Whereas if I could have done like X speed plus 2 or something like that instead, I don't know. This is really quite confusing. So that's why I don't expect a lot of people to watch. Whoever else is watching, thank you. I don't know why you're watching.
I'm just trying to be the comic relief, which I'm sure it's not
Image.
funny.
Now, the truth is, I've never actually done Y. So maybe I can't actually use an image Y scale because I'm not actually reversing the image.
Well, you'll find out if it
So,
doesn't work.
so I can actually do Y speed plus 2. That would be 2 pixels. That seems fair. And then we'll do collision object. Okay. All right. Hang on, this doesn't make any sense. Y speed times 2. If place meeting Y plus Y speed plus 2. Oh no, Y plus Y speed? Yes, that's it. Okay, so it's just fine the way it is. And I'm going to actually have to make a minus 1 because I think I'm going to have a different image. Y speed equals 0. So this is a set. Basically, if I hit a border, this is the goal. It wants to set it up so that way it
Your
will.
character stops.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, X and Y speed works that way.
Why is there a little red line next to 8?
Um. Oh, is it disappeared by now?
Oh, it's gone now. Sorry.
Yeah, because it's an error because it's not quite
Yeah, that's
done.
that's what. Well, that's the thing. Like when I was looking, I was like, wait, it's still aired out.
Yeah, it won't be for too much longer. Okay. Okay. That's actually almost the whole thing. So if place meeting, so it's just checking to see if there's a collision object, and if there is, then it turns the speed to 0. That's pretty
What you're
simple.
hoping for.
Yep. Okay. However, I don't actually have. Oh, I see now. I need to add one more thing. So this is the move script. So I need to add one more thing, which is x speed equals x plus. Whoops. X plus x speed. So this is the actual movement here. So maybe I'll put that in the comments. Speed equals y
I'm gonna give
plus
you a thumbs up.
y speed.
Wait, how come two of them just thumbs up? Oh, maybe someone else. Did you thumbs up your own stream?
I have not done anything.
Oh, well, I thumbs it up and it somehow went to two. Someone else must have thumbs it up.
Awesome. Thanks,
Man,
guys.
I'm gonna subscribe as well. Whoever's watching, make sure you subscribe.
That's right. The most dangerous game studios. Okay. So
My brother's made a ROM dumping tool for like RPGs and stuff like that.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really
All right.
my brother's really smart, and it really bothers me that he's smarter than I am.
Okay. So let me just double check this. So right now, I think this is correct. I could probably do a sign for Y speed instead, but you know what? I already typed it out, so screw it. Okay. Let's go to player object state. Okay, let's go to step event. Let's make an. I'm gonna just finish the controls up, and then I'm gonna if right.
And then we're gonna play a game of Heroes. What you
Oh yeah,
said?
yeah, that's right. If left, if down. Oops. If up. Okay. Whoop. It's the very
So
first.
I put down that self leveling stuff for the tile I'm doing this weekend.
Oh yeah, good.
But to see if it actually works.
Hopefully, you catch that mouse in your place.
I've so those little things you can buy from the store, they kill up to 12 mice, and one of them has been completely destroyed, like in half. So I'm pretty sure I've killed at least 6 mice so far in my garage.
X speed equals 2, and then
Poor
move.
little things.
What was the thing I said? Border? Okay.
I think that's what you said.
Yeah, that's what I set it as. So this should set the X speed to 2, and then move border. Now I can already see an issue. Oh, I don't actually want the move thing here. I just want it right here. So if left X. Oh, actually, hang on a minute. I know exactly what I need to do. I actually screwed something up. And that would be already so quickly. I actually need to set this up differently because I have the image X scale. Oh, I could actually get. I made these sprites earlier, but I could have actually gotten rid of one of them. You know what? I may end up changing things up later, so I'm just gonna remake this, but I'm just gonna change it up to plus.
Well, I mean, you only have a few years to work on the game, so.
I know, right?
Yeah,
X speed.
I don't know programming. I'm too retarded for
Wait, X.
programming,
Wait, what the
unfortunately.
hell? If X plus X speed, Y collision object. If X minus X speed. I don't actually need to do that. Okay. Y plus, Y minus. It's probably not gonna end up working. Whatever. I'll just work on it more later. Okay. So X speed equals 2. So actually, if right is being pressed. Oh, I already see a problem.
What? So is 2 the amount of pixels you move when you press right once?
Um, per frame, yes.
Okay.
That's a step event.
How fast does it run though?
Well,
30
fine.
frames a second?
I could set it to whatever I want.
Oh, you can. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Now I know exactly what's gonna happen when I do this, so I'm gonna have to change something up in a minute.
Have you ever played a
Equals
game
2.
where you wish you could go back and didn't play it because of how awesome it was?
Yes, all the time, man. I actually
Which game for you?
for me it would have been there was actually a game for it, fuck. Actually Breath of the Wild.
Okay, don't spoil that for me. I haven't yet to even like get anywhere in the game
That's a great game.
because well, the problem is the controller is bullshit.
Oh, well, what are you playing it on?
I played on the Switch,
Oh, really?
and on my brother's Switch, I couldn't play it because my hands are retarded.
Oh, well then
And
just
because
get
when
less
you
retarded hands.
well, no, the problem is that some programmer who obviously was sadistic in nature and should probably be shot thought a good idea was to make the ducking mechanic on the freaking analog stick.
Oh God, right. You get used to it.
Yeah, but I don't know which engineer thought that was a good idea. But I mean, I'm not saying that violence is a good thing, but he needs to be stabbed in the hand because, like, I can't play the game. I literally cannot play the game because of that.
You know what? I just realized that I'm doing this wrong. So if right, left, X speed. Actually, I need to rethink my paradigm here because the way that I had it set up in my old version of this game isn't actually going to work for this game. So, like, cause I used to have like a different paradigm for how right, left, up, down would work.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so let's
Wait,
see.
why'd you start from scratch instead of working from the previous one you had?
Because I think it needed to be completely refactored. It was completely messed up. Like there were some issues with it. I want to just restart from scratch because I'm starting with a new. Also, I'm starting in a new bit size. I'm going from. I'm now
Sorry,
in 32-bit instead of 16-bit,
gotcha.
and I could just reuse it, but
As
just
long as you reuse that little spider graphic, because that thing was
I
awesome.
need to touch them up. All right, so right here,
Right back.
okay, so if right is pressed, the x speed will equal 2. Then if left is pressed, but what happens if neither is pressed? Then it should be 0. So if right, not right, and not left, x speed equals 0. Okay, and then if not up and not down, x speed equals, or no, that's actually y speed here. Y speed equals 0. Excellent. Okay, so here we go. All right, pretty simple. Okay, now I already can see a problem. If I have both of them pressed, I'm gonna have something screwy happen. I already know that. So it should really be right minus left, really, shouldn't it? So if right, x speed. Oh, okay. Well, I want to set the sprite correctly, so let's do that. Sprite index equals s player ph right. We will do this with each of these, although it seems like a giant waste of goddamn time. Something I could definitely be making this a little bit faster.
When you get him moving, we got a heroes game, right?
Yeah, it'll be done in just 2 seconds, I'm pretty sure. I mean,
One, two. Is it done? I'm joking.
it'll be done pretty damn soon. Hang on.
Yeah, it's fine, man. It's fine.
I was actually they added Pantheon to TFT, and he
Yeah,
is.
you're telling me that it's kind of busted right
Oh
now.
my god, he's so disgusting. He has like a Morellonomicon built on his in his kit. Like,
Yeah.
what the shit? Alright, I know that this isn't right, but if right and left, x speed equals 0, it's probably, and then if up and down, if up and down, y speed equals 0, and that should do the job after I add in the move. So actually move, and it'll be move with O border. Alright, let's see if it does it. Well, something's happening, but it's not working.
The Game Maker Studio.
All right, so let's see what's happening here. Um,
Your arrow's moving at least.
yeah. Move,
Wait,
move.
why is your right? Wait. Why is your right arrow so tiny?
Because it was probably the first one I made, and I didn't make it the same as the rest of them. I need to adjust that. But why is this not working? So it must be in the script. So if I go to the script,
Wait, scroll up again on this one. The
it's
step that you've got.
oh, I'm an idiot. It's just this. Boop. Wow, I'm a dumbass. All right, here we go. Let's try this again. This should do the job. Well, it's sort of moving.
Yeah, but I mean, well, I can't see it. Yeah, but I mean, that's just
uh,
enough.
oh God, why isn't it moving? Because the X speed keeps going to 0. Why? Okay. Or the speed keeps going back to 0 because if right and left, no, actually move O border. If right, if left, if neither. Oh. Because it's not actually keyboard check pressed. Dummy. I can't even get the basics of this stuff. That's alright. I'll get there. This should do the job. Alright, it should be moving now. Here we go. Here we go. Yay! Alright. Ah!
Let's see how it
It's
looks.
perfect. Alright. Oh, God damn it. It's not working right. But it's okay. It's working better than it was before.
Hey, what? The
Something's not
it's not
quite.
going. It's not going down, but
Yeah, I'm not sure.
left, right, and up were working though.
Yeah. So left and right, and it might have actually been down that was working and up wasn't. Hang on. Now it's
Wait,
working. Now it's working. That's strange. Okay. So why wasn't it working when I hit the border? That's what's interesting. I think what's going on here. I
wait,
know.
hit the border.
I know what's going on. Okay. So you can't see it, but if you look really closely, I mean, like I am literally leaning into my screen right now. It is exactly 1 pixel overlapping the border.
Yeah, you can see that in the video.
Yeah. So that means that what's happening is when I press down, it can't move down because it's actually inside the border. So if I were to set these to 1 instead, it would solve the problem, but that doesn't actually solve like what I want to be solved. So I'm gonna have to go back to this later and adjust the move script so that way it like will get pixel perfect collisions. But that can be a project for tomorrow. Maybe yeah. See now it's whoops. It's still not working. It's still moving right and left, which is interesting.
It's overlapping too.
Yeah, it's still overlapping. You know what though? I got something done today, so I don't care. I'm gonna commit this and then we can go play some fucking heroes. Alright, basic movement. Not working. Movement. Not working. Okay, stage it, commit it. And then that's it. Thanks for watching, whoever else you are. And I'll be back tomorrow at hopefully 8:45. Adios.